On today's show, celebrating winter by going south and then north. First up, a Minnesota getaway to Mazatlan, Mexico in search of something to catch. We'll find largemouth bass amid freshwater lakes and marlin swimming nearby in the Pacific.
Yeah, beautiful.
All right, let's roll.
And later, Bill Shirk starts a new tradition in Minnesota, a January fishing opener for trout. Will he bite in the cold? We'll find out. Those stories and more next.
Minnesota Bound. Brought to you by Minnesota's Select GMC dealers.
Hi everybody, Raven and I welcome you to the show, and as you can see, Raven and I are also in a traveling mood today. So, hey, where'd you go? We're heading south. Yeah, south for a little fun in the sun to Mazatlan, Mexico. Come with us.
At one point today, the Twin Cities was among the top 10 coldest places in the world.
When it's snowing and blowing.
When it comes to wind chills, as we mentioned.
When Minnesota is colder than, well,
Oh my!
we all agree. Isn't it time to go someplace warm?
Yeah.
With Minnesota connections? This is such a place, Mazatlan, Mexico. For more than 40 years, Mazatlan, on Mexico's west coast, has been a major snowbird attraction to Minnesotans and others in the upper Midwest. If you're asking why Mazatlan, part of the answer lies in the name of this fishing boat.
What it's all about!
For nearly a half century, Don and Patty McFarland, who live on Minnesota's Gull Lake, have been Mazatlan ambassadors, leading tours here and introducing hundreds of Minnesotans to this winter getaway.
And so begins our Mazatlan adventure at a place called the El Cid Marina. The marina's over here, the boats are over there, but you're first struck by a row of beautiful chairs here with names on them. One of the names is a fella named Paul Mayer, and he happens to be standing right here. Paul Mayer, how did you get a chair with your name on it?
Well, Don McFarland's been a friend of mine for about the 20 years I've been coming down here, and about 10 years ago bought these chairs and informally started the Ancient Mariners Club. When the boats came in, we'd watch the fish come in and BS for a while, and then we'd all leave about 2:30, and every day, the next day, the same thing would happen again.
And so begins Paul Mayer's infatuation with Mazatlan in wintertime.
You and I are going to have an adventure here in Mazatlan. We're going to do some deep sea fishing. Then we're going to your secret bass fishing lake. And I think we ought to get started. Maybe I can become a member of that Mariners Club, huh? You think we can?
Real quick.
You never know. I'd like that.
Oh, I like the culture. The people are especially friendly. Our experience has been 99% positive, 1% negative down here. The weather is unbelievable in the wintertime.
And one more thing is also unbelievable.
I found this lake about 4 years ago. This lake is supposed to provide fresh water for Mazatlan for the next 100 years.
This is Lake Picachos, Mexico's newest bass fishing hotspot and only 30 miles northeast of Mazatlan.
I've never caught so many big bass as we caught last year. Almost every time we're up here, we got a bass, at 10 pounds or near 10 pounds. And best bass fishing for big bass I've ever had in my life.
Indeed, Picachos is teeming with fish, including tilapia.
Just like the old days, man.
Little tiny boat.
Here we go. Take me to them. They're probably move into shallower when it's dirty like this. They can see a little bit better,
Well, you know where it's at.
and so that's where they're at, right in there.
I'm used to having guys in the boat don't know nothing, so.
Yes, sir. Come on out. All right, my first Mexican bass.
First fresh Picacho bass.
Well, that didn't take long, Paul. Boy, it's pretty looking bass. Very pretty. All right, here you go, buddy.
Suddenly, the fishing was mucho grande.
Oh, he's got one. Any size to him?
Bigger than yours.
Yeah, I gotta admit, he's a bigger one than mine.
I don't know, I just know that. Good way to catch them.
Fact is, the bass catching is pretty easy here.
Oh, right. Next to play the game.
Of course, we had our not-so-fishy moments as well, thanks to sunken fishing nets.
There's nets strung everywhere here. Over here, over there. This is like a maze.
The nets might catch tilapia, but rarely the largemouth bass. However, dodging the flooded treetops was intriguing, especially since Paul loved to troll shad wraps.
I got a nice fish on here.
Dodge logs, dodge nets, catch fish.
We also were reminded that our fishing water once had been dry land.
Yo, right in the cemetery.
But hey, we weren't shoveling snow, right?
Oh, he's a nice fish too. Paul, do I dare say it? This is a place to die for. Did I say that?
When we return, more warm adventure in a winter escape to Mazatlan, Mexico. Muy grande pesca.
Minnesota Bound, brought to you by Minnesota Select GMC dealers. Connecticut. Rapala. And by Seven Clans Casino.
Time now to continue our Mazatlan adventure. As you might know, Mazatlan has been a long-time Minnesota getaway for good reason. Lots of fishing there and fun.
A Mazatlan adventure is more than roadside cactus, palm trees, and tourists on a beach. Downtown Mazatlan is an adventure of its own. First stop, Mazatlan's version of a farmer's market.
Yellowtail. It's a bird. It's a bird of paradise, I think. Beautiful. Smells good in here.
But hold on here, holy mackerel. A Minnesota fisherman doesn't escape snow to sniff flowers. Gotta be something bigger than a walleye swimming next door in the Pacific, right? Paul and I intended to find out. Raul Lopez was our charter captain,
Raul.
assisted by his son Raul Jr.
There's two Raúls.
They prepared for an early departure to marlin water.
I love fishing. Why? Well, I like the ocean. I like the swimming. I like the excited when we hook the fish. I love my job. And you know, my father is fisherman too, my brother. So I am the last guy for the family fishing. Now my son fishing too.
What I found is this deep sea fishing is hours possibly of just trolling, tedious trolling, followed by 5 minutes of absolute pandemonium. It's So I can't wait for pandemonium. How do you like that?
Lots of fish yesterday here, but now this different. Fall on the base, but not take it, just fall on the base.
The fishing action seemed to be on Mexican time. And then, holy tamale.
I'm just starting to pull in a billfish here.
Finally, we catch one.
Yeah, he's a good fighter.
We intended to release the striped marlin, but sadly, the hook was buried too deep.
Give me the gaff. Give me the gaff. Okay, okay, okay. Beautiful fish. Good job.
Like I said, a lot of fish. Ooh,
See.
nice job.
Back in port, the marlin was weighed and admired.
How many pounds, Juan?
140 pounds.
Do you think so?
Yep.
I don't know if I've ever got a 140-pound marlin, but then maybe I did.
Still ahead, while the blizzards blow in Minnesota, we'll keep casting in Mexico for the fish of summer, largemouth bass.
Closed captioning is brought to you by the Yard.
Now, before we say goodbye to Mazatlan, one last cast perhaps, one last chance to enjoy the warm sun.
It's another sunny day in Mazatlan, Mexico, and another reminder that the real vacation memories happen far from the tourist beaches. I mean, try visiting a country bread maker.
No más. Solo por...
Or return to the Bass Lake and mingle with the local anglers.
I like this. ¿Cómo se llama?
Monkey.
Right there. I don't know what that is.
With time running out for this Minnesota snowbird, Paul and I returned to Lake Picachos in search of more and hopefully bigger bass.
All right, here we go. Gonna go get the bass. Here we go. After a winter in Minnesota, this is heaven. Heaven.
And suddenly, it was summer again.
There we go. Oh, did I miss a nice one? There he is.
He thought he was big, huh?
He thought he was a big one,
I got a fish on here.
Paul was busy catching his own, trolling a shad wrap.
No gigante. Well, this one is acrobat.
There he got off. What do you think of that one, Carl?
Nice one.
Yeah? That's a good one. You bet.
Adios, amigo.
Adios, indeed. Like a fish returned to the water, the time also had come for this snowbird to return to Minnesota. Dang, I like this game, Paul. Next, we'll switch the compass around and head north to open a Minnesota trout season in the new year to start a new tradition. Stay with us.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Tracker Boats and by Starkey Hearing Technologies.
Welcome back. It's time now to head back home to Minnesota, where a new tradition has started, fishing for trout on New Year's Day. Bill Shirk has the story.
Reunion is a powerful thing.
I shot my first turkey a mile that way.
A drive deep into Minnesota's southern bluff country reveals nothing but a remote road into nowhere.
The reunion has started. I don't get to see you either.
John Mowry and Andy Roth celebrate New Year's Day together.
We just kind of made it a thing. No matter what the weather was, no matter what anything was, we were going to go.
Come every January 1st, John and Andy get outside on one of Minnesota's few trout streams open to winter fishing.
It wasn't necessarily to catch fish, it was just to be outside again.
But 2015 will be different. See, Minnesota just made big changes to state trout fishing regulations. Used to be just a few trout streams open, but this year, every southeastern Minnesota trout stream opens to winter fishing.
We sit on more miles of trout streams than almost any other state.
Andy, John, and their buddy Ernie vowed to not miss this chance.
It was the opportunity, right? It's the first opportunity. It is the beginning of a new year, and you know, there's no better place to be.
It's amazing to see what's inside of you. And that's kind of what winter camping does. It really tests what's inside of you.
Tonight, Team Trout camps along their secret fishing spot, Ringer Creek, water that has not been open to winter fishing since World War II.
Having some hot Italian sausages and peppers.
It's hot in here.
We can sit here and relax and have a good time.
Oh, this is awesome.
12 years. 12 years.
12 years.
The reunion. 12 years.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
It's New Year's.
The sound of time wakes us. Below camp, gravity perpetually pulls at water.
All right, let's roll.
Fresh fallen snow, no footprints. When you know you're on the first spot and fishing the first spot of the year, then nobody else has been out there, it's a special feeling.
Just kind of our thing to walk rivers, and so much of it in the wintertime does turn into just exploring rivers.
I don't care if we don't catch a fish today. It's New Year's Day. Look where we are.
Oh, shoot. That was a missed opportunity there for sure. Well, they ate one of these flies, so that's good.
This trip becomes less about the fish and more about the moment, the now of New Year's.
I'm just happy to be out here. Catching fish is a bonus. I don't take it as seriously as a lot of other guys do.
Seriously, like who? Andy?
Come on, let's go.
When you tell people you do it, they think you're crazy, but I love it.
And it's how we spend New Year's on new water.
It's really fun to know that we're the first people to fish this river in January in 60 years probably. A long time, a long time.
Well, that looks like fun too, so take your choice. Fish for trout in the snowbanks or bass in the sunshine. That about does it for us. Remember, introduce a kid to the great outdoors. I'm Ron Sheridan, of course, always the star of the show. Who wants to drive my Yukon is Raven.
Transportation provided by Premier Transportation. Call 1-800-899-7433. For more information on these stories and more, catch us on the web at mnbound.com.